Hello and welcome back to my channel, which is all about tips and how to dress if you're over 50. So today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about body confidence, because I know that a lot of my clients and a lot of women that I talk to, they get to 50 and suddenly after that point their confidence takes a dip. Now I know for me this happened. Actually, when I turned 50 I felt pretty good. I had lost quite a lot of weight, my hair was exactly how I wanted it to be, and when I went out for my 50th birthday I was feeling really good. And I kind of thought, well, what's all the fuss about? And then when I got to about 52, I started to notice the changes. I started to notice that my body shape was changing. It was easier to put on weight, much harder to take it off. My once hourglass figure was starting to lose its waist, and I was starting to become more of an apple shape and much more conscious of my kind of middle area. So at that point I did have a bit of a confidence crisis. It coincided with me unintentionally becoming a fashion blogger, because I had started a blog and initially I'd never put photos of myself out on the blog, but then people started to say, oh, what does that look like on? Can you post some pictures? And so I started to take pictures of myself wearing things and posting them, and I started to get a lot of feedback from women saying, well, I really like seeing this on you because, you know, not being unkind, but I'm not a size 10, I'm not a 25-year-old, and they could see what these things looked like on a woman that was very much like them. So from there it kind of grew, and I had my blog for about 8 years, and eventually I decided that it was, you know, taking over my life. So hence I cut back the blog and started to focus on this 50 plus area, because I really believe that women at this age, we kind of get forgotten about. I know a lot of women over 50 feel like they're invisible. Unintentionally also, if you have young and beautiful daughters like I do, sometimes, you know, when you go out as a family, you kind of feel like you're the one at the back. And also from my age group, I think any woman who's grown up sort of from the 60s and into the 70s, there was quite a lot of that don't show off. I know that was something that kind of stuck with me, although having said that, it wasn't my mother. My mother was always beautifully put together and very glamorous, and I was always really proud of how she looked, and I think that's where I got the whole sort of style thing from. But anyway, so when a lot of women turn 50, they do tend to lose their confidence because their body shape starts to change. And there's all sorts of other, you know, not so pleasant things. Like, you know, for me, I'm permanently hot, which sometimes you can feel quite uncomfortable about that, quite embarrassed about it, because you might be sitting at a dinner table and you can feel that your makeup is starting to sweat off. You know, things like that, which we don't really talk about. It's not something that we particularly want to discuss with people, but all these little things that can knock our confidence, or that in a group of people we can actually be feeling like we want to pull back. You know, people say, oh, let's grab a picture, and you're thinking, I don't really want to be in this picture. And I know a lot of my clients have said that I hate having my photo taken. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this whole thing of body confidence and what can you do to make yourself feel a little bit more confident as you go into your 50s and beyond. So the first thing really is about starting to understand your body and your shape and the things that you like about your body and the things that perhaps you don't like about your body. And I'm a great believer in not focusing attention on things that you don't like. It's so common that, you know, somebody will pay a compliment and say, oh, you look really good today. And the first thing you do is say, oh yeah, but I've just, this spot's come out on my chin, or my hair didn't go right today, or yeah, but I'd feel a bit better if I lost a few pounds. And, you know, the sad thing about it is that not only are you pointing out the things that you don't like, but you're also kind of making that person feel a little bit uncomfortable that they've complimented you, which is such a shame, because I think it's such a nice thing when you see somebody and you think they look great and you say, you look really great today. Try saying it to somebody and see how good it makes you feel. And I hope that what they say back to you and what you will say back to them if you get a compliment like that is, thank you. And that's all you have to say, not, oh, thanks, but. So think about that. Obviously, that doesn't particularly help with body shape and body confidence, which is what we're talking about, but I wanted to mention that. So as far as body confidence is concerned, as I said, it's about thinking about which bits of you do you like, which bits of you do you want to show off. Forget about those bits you don't like, because we're going to push those to the back and we're going to make the things that you do like come forward. So, you know, if it's something like, you know, perhaps you've not really got many wrinkles and you think that my skin's really good. So kind of showing off your skin with a beautiful makeup that's perhaps got a very slight sheen to it, so it makes you look healthy. You can do this with highlighters quite easily. I quite like to show off my lips because, you know, they haven't got too wrinkly, so I'm quite happy to wear a bright lipstick, which immediately draws the eye to the face rather than anywhere else where you might not want people to look. I'm quite self-conscious of my large bust, so I will very often draw the eye up away from the bust with a necklace or a scarf, or again with a red lipstick. A red lipstick can do wonders, you know, if you've got dark circles under the eyes or you're feeling really tired, which I must admit I am at the moment. A little bit of concealer, a bright lipstick immediately will light the face up a little bit. And also don't forget about blusher. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of a little bit of blusher as well, just to bring a bit of colour to the face. And then when you're thinking about the rest of your body, again, it's thinking about where would I like people to be focusing their attention on my body, and where do I not want them to focus attention? So I don't want people to focus attention on my midriff sort of tummy area. So what I will tend to do is draw their attention elsewhere. Now, what is quite common with a lot of women who have got what I now have, an apple-shaped body, is they very often have great legs. So I've mentioned this before, I don't mind showing my legs off. I will wear skinny jeans, I will wear leggings, I will wear slim fit trousers, because they show off what is probably now the slimmest part of my body, is my legs. But I'll tend to wear them with a longer top, or a top that skims over the middle area, so that I'm concealing that bit of me that I don't want to put on view. The other thing that you can do is wear a great pair of shoes. You know, if you've got a slim ankle, wear something with an ankle strap and a great colour, or a talking point. I mean, Theresa May did this brilliantly, didn't she, for years with her leopard print shoes. So think about those kind of things. And the other thing I would say is, if you have curves, think about the fabrics and the weight of fabrics that you're putting onto your body. Because if you have a curvy bust, you don't really want to wear something that is too stiff on it. So like a heavy linen, a heavy denim, those kind of fabrics that don't really move with the body. What you ideally want is something much softer. So if I'm wearing a blazer, rather than wearing one that is a stiff blazer, I'll perhaps wear a jersey blazer, something with a jersey fabric that's got a little bit of stretch in it, and it eases over and moves with the body much easier. Knits as well. This knit is a kind of a medium weight one. I wouldn't necessarily go into, for me, a chunky jumper, because again, that's going to kind of do this to me and make the bust show more. So fine knits work much better. Fluid fabrics like silk, jersey fabrics, viscose is great as well. So think about, you know, giving yourself confidence by not causing problems with fabrics. So if you think about a stiff white shirt, which would probably pull at the bust area and you'd get some gaping there, it's really important to give yourself confidence, especially if you're on view. So if you're going to an event or if you're giving a presentation or anything like that, try and think about all of those things which might cause you some issues. If you're going to be sitting down and people can see you sitting, think about where your skirt finishes and how far it's going to ride up your legs when you sit down. If you've got great legs and you want to show them off, okay, but quite often a skirt will ride up onto the thigh area, which tends to be the widest part of the leg, and therefore that's where the eye is drawn, that point where the skirt finishes. And this is also a good point to think about with skirt lengths, because I have mentioned this before, I think, in a video, but a little trick for you is that if you stand in front of a mirror with your legs on show and you look at your leg, you'll see there are 3 points in your leg where it sort of indents. One tends to be just above the knee, one tends to be a little way below the knee, and the other one is kind of around the ankle area. And a really good tip is to end a skirt or a pair of trousers at one of those points. Trousers obviously more for the ankle than up on your thigh, unless it's a pair of shorts. Because what happens is if it's ending at a narrow part, it gives the illusion that everything above that is as narrow as well. So it's giving the illusion that your legs are slimmer. The other thing that you can do to make your legs look longer and slimmer is to, there's a trend at the moment for flared jeans. Flared jeans are great for making your legs look longer, especially if you wear them with a little heel as well. If you find a pair that fits close to the thigh and then flares out below the knee and add a little heel, they make your legs look really long. So thinking about those things that can draw the eye to the good bits of you. You know, if you want to draw the eye up to your neck, if you've got a nice long slim neck, it might be with some earrings. So all of those kind of things that you can do to draw attention to the areas that you want people to look at. It could be detailing, it could be ruffles or frills, it could be pleating, and vice versa. If you don't want somebody looking at that part of your body, then make sure that you're not putting any detail on that area. So if you're perhaps conscious of your hips, then I would say wear a longer top or wear a shorter top. So either wear a cropped jacket that perhaps stops at your narrowest point, or wear a longer jacket that comes down to the thigh, so that you're not finishing the jacket or the top right on your widest point, which you're not particularly keen on people looking at. I also think we get very caught up with what everybody thinks the perfect body should be. We also get bombarded with women over 50 who look amazing. This happened very recently with J-Lo at the Super Bowl, and actually following on from the end of the Versace show last year, where she wore again the dress that she had worn many years ago, which I say dress, it's a few strips of fabric, and she looked absolutely amazing. But, you know, let's be real, most 50-year-old women or 50-plus women do not look like that. She has a team of people to make her look great. So, you know, try not to be caught up too much in this is what a 50-year-old woman should look like. A 50-year-old woman should look like you, but that doesn't mean to say that you can't make yourself feel and look your best. And I think looking your best is very much tied up with confidence. So anything that you can do to give you confidence is going to help you to look better as well. And it might be things like, using a body buffer so your skin's really nice and smooth, putting on some oil or body moisturiser that's got a little bit of a sheen to it so the skin's got a nice gleam. Thinking about, wearing makeup, making a little bit of an effort with your makeup, trying out a few new things. Don't be frightened to try some of the new trends, but do it somewhere where you feel safe. So maybe go into a shop, pick up a whole load of things that perhaps you wouldn't have tried before, go in the changing room, try them on, try different combinations, different colours, different shapes, different trends. And when you find something that you think, oh yeah, actually, I really like this, you can surprise yourself. I didn't think this was going to work, but it really does. Take a selfie of it so that you can store it on your phone and keep it with you. And think about how you can build some of that into your own wardrobe. So I also wanted to say, it's really difficult. I know people make comments all the time. There's been a big backlash recently about the sort of gossip magazines and how they put women on the front with comments like, she's let herself go. And people can be quite cruel, as I've said in the past. Social media can be quite nasty. It can also be very kind as well. So it's hard not to listen to those comments. It's hard not to get caught up in those. But who really has the right to say what you should or shouldn't be wearing at 50 or over? It's really down to you. So I want to encourage you to wear the things that make you feel confident, because as I say, the more confident you look, the better you're going to feel, and the more confident other people are going to think you are. So I hope that's been a little bit of advice that will help you with thinking about body confidence. It's also a case of learning to dress your body and dress your personality and who you really are. And if you want to know more about this, I talk an awful lot about this in the Stylish at 50 system, which is within my Stylish at 50 membership. If you're not already a member, I will put a link below to a video I created about it, and I hope you'll find that useful. So thanks very much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you did. And if you click on the little bell, then you'll get notified whenever I make a new video. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Oh, and if you have any comments, just leave them in the comment box below. Thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.